start off with a thought on the Kings. Obviously, you just saw them. We're quite able to get over the hump against them, taking them on again. What do you expect from them tonight?
Well, their top players are playing now. They're dug in and they're making a difference every game. Their top players against us were their top players against Vancouver. So before you can get anywhere, you've got to find a way to stall some of their top guys from dominating, because they look like they're dug in pretty deep right now. And so I don't know if Quick's playing or not, or what the plan is, but he's another good player that a lot of those guys that have won championships before, they've really rolled up their sleeves and they're making a difference. So we got to compete at a high level against those guys.
Alex Chiasson's had a pretty interesting 8 months. Wins a cup, then has to find a contract. Has 10 goals now, is playing on the top line. What do you like about the player that is Alex Chiasson?
Well, two things. First of all, he goes to the net, stays at the net, and can score at the net. All of his goals are scored from in close. And for me, the way people are defending, if we're going to keep McDavid and Leon together, the way people are defending them, we're going to have to make them defend their net area more, because right now they're keeping them to the outside, and they're going to have to find more areas to penetrate in. And I think right now Alex is one of the best we've got on the team right now at going and staying at the net, finding space in there, occupying space so that especially Connor can have more room to operate in. So he's a good fit right now. He's a player that plays with a conscience. He keeps the puck in front of him. Those are the things we want, but mostly it's a net presence and a real value in the red zone scoring areas.
Ken, you haven't had a lot of practice days. Like, you've had 2 full practice days, flight Monday, game Tuesday, CBA mandated off day yesterday. Was today a typical morning skate, or was there a little bit more urgency in what you were trying to get done just because you guys didn't skate yesterday?
No, having gone through this in Dallas, we want to skate and practice once as a group. So meaning that on mandated days like this or whatever, and we're going to skate as a group, this is half pregame skate, half practice. But the last 2 drills were strictly, they were practice drills. They were drills that you don't normally do in pregame skates. The other thing we can afford to do right now is, because we've got 8 defensemen or even 9 that can participate, we can do a lot of transition drills that you can't do when you got 7. So we're able to do that stuff, and it helps us get better. But playing 5-on-5 hockey in the morning isn't natural, but I believe over time it really helps you. And our feeling is we just don't want to let our team game get too far ahead. We're really improving in that area, and I don't want it to get too far ahead. So that's why we had the 5-on-5 drill in today.
Koskinen, it'll be 4 out of 5 starts under you. How are you approaching your goaltending situation, Ken? Is Koskinen the clear-cut starter at this point, or do you just ride the hot hand? How would you characterize it?
Mostly ride the hot hand. I'm kind of relying on other people for that information. I like both guys a lot, and Talbot's going to play here right away. I like both guys. Like I said yesterday, I think our goaltending is the strength of our hockey club. And if they're going to continue to compete, since I've got here at a high level, they actually give us a chance every night. And we just have to do a better job in front of them, giving up less odd man rushes. And the only time we really got burnt was against LA. They burn us big. And hopefully we've learned from that. But both these guys look very accomplished to me and look like you can trust either guy.
Ken, more than a week on a job, I just wonder, how much do you throw at the players as far as information and maybe little tweaks, little changes there, or is it less is more at this point, or what's your approach as far as changes and stuff like that?
Well, in our preparation right now, I would say we're 98% about us, 2% about the opposition. So I would like to be able to spend more time on the opposition, but we can't do that right now. We've got a lot of stuff that we've got to work on to get better, to get up to pace in this conference, and you gotta deal with. Right now, a lot of it's being done on video, but you know, we'll get a couple of good quality practices in now and hopefully get this thing to another level. But I would say 98% is on us. And there's been basically 2 parts of our system that I've tweaked. And basic stuff, we're following what the guys did with Todd before. So there's really been only 2 parts of it that I've tweaked. And quite frankly, the guys have picked up on it right away.
Ty Ratty hasn't played much for you here. You had him before. What's keeping him out of the lineup?
He's a different player than when I had him. He's more, how can I say it? He's a good player. Like he's on the right side of the puck now, and he's not hanging and hoping. The other thing for me, he's willing to fight for space. And before he was looking for space when he first turned pro, I had him when he was a younger player. And he was looking for space, and because he was so much smarter than everybody in junior, he got away with it. He had an adjustment during his professional career at the start, but I like him. And to me, he's part of that group of 13. I'm trying to do something with our lineup to extend our depth. And so that's why you see the lineup that's playing right now. I know what he can give me, and I'm satisfied with that, but I'm trying to get to a different position depth-wise because your top 3 lines are going to have to chip in offensively. They just can't keep working and working and working. They're going to have to chip in. So I'm trying to put in a position where create an identity, a depth identity, which is going to be a hard forechecking team, and then see if these guys can not only hard forecheck, create turnovers, but put the puck in the net. But I'm good with Ty, especially the way he is now, because he's on the right side of things, and that's what's, quite frankly, made him a player back in the NHL.
Do you view him as a guy that could be a complimentary top 6 forward?
Yeah. Yeah, and I want to see, obviously, a couple other people there right now, but yeah, I see him getting back into that. You know, providing he's got to carry his weight, he's got to be good on the boards, and he's got to make sure he's on the right side of pucks. But I see that's where it's going to end up here for us.